This is Sarah with RegisteredNurseRN.com, and in this video I'm going to be going over the vaccination schedule for children 0 to 6 years. And I'm going to be giving you some mnemonics on how you can remember all these vaccines. And as always, at the end of this YouTube video, you can access the free quiz that will test you on this material. So let's get started. We will start with birth, and this is super easy. All that's required at birth is the hepatitis B vaccine, and there will be 3 doses given, and the first dose will be at birth. Next is at 2 months, and they will get several vaccines at this visit. They will get the hepatitis B, which will be our second dose, our DTaP, which is for diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis, the Hib vaccine, which is for Haemophilus influenza type B, which will help prevent against epiglottitis, polio, the pneumococcal conjugate vaccine, which is the PCV, and then the RV vaccine, which is the rotavirus vaccine. Then at 4 months, they will get everything they got at 2 months except the hepatitis B vaccine. So they will get the DTaP, they will get the Hib, polio, PCV, and RV. Then at 6 months, it's really easy because it's exactly what they got at 2 months, which will include hepatitis B, the DTaP, the Hib, polio, PCV, and the RV. And then also at 6 months, they will start receiving an annual flu vaccine. So if you can remember from 2 to 6 months, they get exactly the same vaccines, and it's 6 of them. But then at 4 months, they will get everything except hepatitis B. Then we move on to 12 to 18 months. So here the child will get the DTaP, and they'll get this at the 15 to 18 month mark. And then Hib, PCV, the MMR, which is new, we're adding on, and the varicella, which is chickenpox. And then they'll also get the hepatitis A vaccine, which is going to be required in 2 doses. They'll get 1 dose at 12 months, which is 1 year, and then they'll get the second dose 6 months later at 18 months. And of course, the annual flu shot during flu season. And finally, between 4 to 6 years old, they will get the following vaccines, and there's only 4 of them. So I think that's easy because I remember that it starts at 4 years. So they'll get the DTaP, polio, MMR, and the varicella. And of course, if it's flu season, they'll get the annual flu shot. Now let's go over some mnemonics to help you remember when these vaccines should be given. Okay, at birth, that is easy. They just need 1 vaccine, and it's the hepatitis B vaccine. So birth, hepatitis B, you can remember that one, just 1. Now let's remember the vaccines from 2 to 6 months. Because if we can remember all these vaccines, we just have to remember those, and we've knocked out a lot of them. So whenever I created these mnemonics, I wanted them to be able to help you to identify what age they need to be given and what exactly is given. So as I pointed out earlier, at 2 months and 6 months, it's the same exact vaccines that are being given. There's 6 of them. But it's changed at 4 months. All of those are being given except hepatitis B. So this mnemonic is going to help you remember that. It says, 2 6-month-old pediatric policies discuss rejecting his Hep B at 4 months. So this tells us that at 2 and 6 months, the child will need the following. Pediatric represents pneumococcal conjugate virus, the PCV. Policies represents polio. Discuss represents DTaP. Rejecting represents rotavirus. His represents Hib, and Hep B represents, of course, hepatitis B. And it ends at 4 months. So it's telling us that the child will need all those vaccines except, hence rejecting, the Hep B at 4 months. Now let's look at some mnemonics for the next 2 age categories. Okay, we're doing 12 to 18 months. And remember with this one, we're going to be giving DTaP, Hib, PCV, but we're adding on MMR and varicella and Hep A. And remember, Hep A is going to be given in 2 doses, 1 at 12 months and then 1 6 months later at 18 months. So here's a mnemonic to help you remember all those in that category. His 12 to 18 dispatch month vaccines helped people. His represents Hib. 12 to 18 represents the category we're talking about of ages, so 12 to 18. Dispatch represents DTaP. MUMP represents MMR. Vaccines represents the varicella. HELP represents Hep A. Remember, there's 2 doses of that one given at this age group. And then people represents PCV. And lastly, to help us remember 4 to 6 years, remember there's just 4 of them. You can remember this mnemonic. Police dispatch 4 to 6-year-old MUMP vaccines. So, police represents polio. Dispatch represents DTaP. 4 to 6-year-old is the age category. MUMP is the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine, and then vaccine represents varicella. Okay, so those are the recommended vaccines for children ages 0 to 6. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to take the free quiz and to subscribe to our channel for more videos.